Mohamed Mezghani, secretario general de la Asociación de Transporte Público Internacional, UITP, muchas gracias por estar con nosotros. Teníamos un par de preguntas que queríamos en este contexto realizarle, porque el transporte público ha sido uno de los más afectados durante estos meses de pandemia. El primero es ese impacto que a nivel ambiental, pero también a nivel social, ha tenido ese no apostar por el transporte público durante estos meses. Y luego otra cuestión que tiene que ver cómo ese debate respecto a la seguridad, sí o no, del transporte público como tal. Que hay informes que ya se sabe que ha respondido con seguridad durante estos meses. ¿Qué nos puede explicar en esta cuestión?
Thank you for the introduction and hello everyone. I'm glad to be invited to speak to you today, and I hope you are safe and coping as best as you can with the current situation. Muchas gracias al Español Invertia for initiating this topical event for the sector and the future of our cities. Since the onset of the pandemic, UITP has deployed multiple initiatives to support public transport stakeholders. Our objective was to ensure that they can rely on UITP to bring them the most up-to-date case studies and practices, even as they were still being developed around the world. We brought in experts to share their knowledge via numerous trainings and webinars, and joined our members in a specialized COVID task force to ensure we were covering every aspect and getting them a complete 360 perspective. Many of our Spanish members, too, were an integral part of this open sharing, giving us an insight on the various exhaustive measures being implemented to ensure that passenger demand was managed safely for all those involved. Along with the inter-member knowledge sharing, UITP also initiated several advocacy campaigns and initiatives benefiting the sector. So we must use this crisis as a learning opportunity. Our sector has seen a decrease of ridership and therefore a decrease of fare box revenues that will have lasting repercussions on transit budgets. It also impacted the supplying industry with a reduction in industrial and service production. Of course, major funding mechanism will be needed to support public transport at this time. At the national level in Spain, we fully support the new sustainable mobility and funding law for public transport that aims to provide a stable funding framework to public transport investment and services. This is in its final stage of development now and strongly supported by our member, ATUC. At the European level, we are looking forward to the next generation funds, where we are confident that all national governments will bet on public transport, since it clearly matches the sustainability and digitalization eligibility criteria. So, what has the crisis made clear to us? First, that public transport is an essential service. While most activities in the city have been suspended, public transport continues to operate to serve essential workers. Second, public transport appeared to be a vulnerable service. It was not prepared to address a sanitary crisis like this one. Third, public transport is an undervalued service. Though there is a consensus about the essential role of public transport, the sector didn't receive enough financial and institutional support. And fourth, public transport is unfairly accused of being a risky place for the transmission of the virus, when in fact numerous scientific studies show that the risk is negligible. When vehicles are disinfected, when they are ventilated, when travelers wear masks and don't talk much. Actually, this is the reality of public transport now. And we recently disseminated a policy brief entitled Public Transport is COVID Safe. The messages of this paper were built based on results of those scientific studies with the objective of restoring trust in public transport. So, knowing this, what can we predict about the future of urban mobility? The lockdown has made clear how much space is used by cars. I would say how much space is wasted to move cars. People have taken possession of that space to work, to bike, to dine, to enjoy their city. It's therefore critical to rethink how space is shared and give priority to those modes which are the most efficient. The recent survey carried out by YouGov shows that 65 to 85% of Europeans agree that cities take measures to give more space to walking, cycling, and public transport. In other words, we must move people and not cars. The challenge to reduce individual car use offers also the opportunity to accelerate the development of shared and on-demand mobility solutions. We have diverse transport options available, which allows to build mobility packages according to the needs of people. It means that the mass public transport is and will remain the backbone in the city, but will be complemented by on-demand and shared solutions. This will make public transport door-to-door and not just station to station. It will be better answering the mobility demand. Also, the COVID-19 crisis should not make us lose sight of the persisting climate and ecological crisis. We need to maintain ambition and cut global emissions at a pace consistent to reaching carbon neutrality by 2050. As the economy recovers, it should be steered towards Green Deal compatible growth. It was the message we have been advocating for at the COP25 in Madrid last year, where I had the opportunity to discuss it with Mr. Abalos, Minister of Transport, Infrastructures and Urban Agenda, and Ms. Rivera, Minister of Energy Transition and the Environment. And I was very pleased to better know their ambitious strategy. Ladies and gentlemen, this crisis is actually a defining moment. In the recovery phase, public transport will not just be part of the solution, it will be leading it. So let's seize the moment to build back better mobility focused on people. Thank you all.
Mohamed Mezghani, muchísimas gracias por estar con nosotros. Le invito a que en siguientes ediciones del Observatorio de la Movilidad, si lo permite, incluso pueda estar aquí y si no, vuelva a participar. Gracias por estar con nosotros.